A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan broken by action makes your dream come true. Welcome to all gathered here this evening. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming every one of you to this online summer course on Build Your Own Webpage Part 2. I now extend a warm welcome to our resource persons for this evening, Mr. Satish and Mr. Prohit, on behalf of our respected college chairman, Sridi Duraisamy, Vice Chairman, Sridi Parandaman, Secretary, Sridi Dasrathan, Joint Secretary, Sri S. Gopinath, Correspondent, Sri S. Amarnath, Director, Sridi Sabarinath, our beloved Principal, Dr. S. Ramachandran, Head of all UG and PG departments, professors and faculty members, and students of our institution. Thank you, Mr. Satish and Mr. Prohit, for joining with us today. Before we begin this event, let me share a brief introduction of our institution. Dharmanaidu Educational and Charitable Trust established SA Engineering College in the year 1998-1999. We are an A grade and ISO 9001-2015 certified institutions located at Tiruvekadu. All our departments are MBA accredited. We are working autonomous from 2019 for a span of 10 years. We have 24 years of excellence with 9 UG programs which include BEECE, EEE, CSE, Civil, Mechanical and BTech IT, Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Computer Science and Business System, along with 6 PG programs which are ME CAD CAM, CSE, Communication System and Embedded Systems Technology, MBA and MCE. We also support various doctorate programs in CSE, ECE, EEE, Mathematics and Mechanical Engineering. SA Engineering College stands out in the crowd for its Anna University recognized research centers with 27 funded projects where students get chance to work on these projects. We provide highly comprehensive placement of about 90% each and every year. We have achieved 90% of placements even during the pandemic in the year 2020-2021. Our top recruiters include Avasoft, Rapid Data, Emphasis, Infosys, Capgemini, CTS, TCS, Zoho, L&T. We have introduced the latest courses on artificial intelligence and data science, CSE and business systems. We have a state of art infrastructure including Internet of Things Lab, Product Design and Development Lab to conduct research projects. SA Engineering College maintains high standard of education by providing a wide array of world-class academic facilities, employing highly qualified and experienced faculty members, and creating an ambience of conducive quality education. I now request our resource person to take over.
CSS sheets, and then this is the main concept in JavaScript. While talking about the JavaScript, it's totally about the behavior of our website. Here, the JavaScript means it's an on-click function. This is our JavaScript function, and then this on-click is a function of JavaScript, and then OpenNav is our user-defined function. Here, the overlap is a function. Overlap is a function. No, this overlap in here the function, right? As of you know that while we writing the JavaScript inside the HTML code, we must use that as script tag. Inside the script tag only, we should use the valid JavaScript code. Any valid JavaScript code in JavaScript code. Here a lot of languages there. All the languages should follow some predefined syntaxes and then lot of configurations. Here the function is a JavaScript keyword, and then this is our user defined name, and then document is a DOM. DOM is it's a document object model. That's why we are accessing any data from that HTML. No, that's coming from using the document dot get element by the ID means we are getting the element by using the ID of that element. While seeing about the ID means it's an ID. While giving that ID my slides, this is the ID. While giving this ID is equal to my site now. This is the ID. Let's just a minute. I will run our program. If I run the program, the output is this is a web page using both CSS, HTML, and then JavaScript. All the structure is made up of HTML, and then we are styling the HTML tags using the CSS. Then only it's looking good and then interactive. While talking about the JavaScript, while clicking this attendance no, it will comes to this nav bar. This is our JavaScript function. We can redirect anything. If you want to take the attendance means just click the attendance and then it will go to the next page. Same absence. If you want to see the absence of the organization means just click the absence means it goes to the absentee tabs. If the person wants the on-duty permission, then he will directly apply for that and then get the approval from the officials. These are all the features of JavaScript. And then one more thing, we can do the form validation using the JavaScript. While talking about the form validation, here there's a document. I have already said no, everything accessible by the document. While using HTML, you should write the script tag. Inside the script tag only, we should write the valid JavaScript code. Here the JavaScript code, this is a JavaScript code which contains one function. One function means it's a validate form. We are going to validate the form with the name and password. Here it's a simple, the output of this HTML code is simple login form. In body section, the form tag opens, and then the name of the form is my form, and then method of the post. Yesterday's session I have said that post is used to send the data to the server and then storing in the server. Okay, that's why it's running. And action button, already I have said this action button is very important in that while redirecting to that backend. Okay, and then on set, here the on submit is one of the predefined attribute of the form tag, which is used to validate the form. Return validate form, it's the most important thing. Validate form is the method name, which is same as this method name. Function of validate form, these two must be same, then only the function will call. Next, here coming about that HTML form section, there is a two fields. One is name and then password. Name, and obviously it's a type of text, and then password, it's type of password. Okay, this name and then password are most important because we can access the name, this fields, no, name and then password fields. We must access the fields by using these names only. Input, this is a submit button. Input type is equal to submit, register, value means register. It shows that value of the submit. The button indicates that that is a register button. While coming about, while entering this button, it returns the validate form. It redirects to the function and then checks for the validate form. And then here the variable va, or where is the keyword in, where is the keyword in a JavaScript, while using to define the any variables. Name is a variable and then password is a variable. We are accessing the values name and then password. Here these two and are important. This name comes from where, this name is same as this name. That's why it's accessing the user inputs. If we give this different names, means it will not accept, it will not, it shows this error. It won't accept this request and all. Next, password. This JavaScript follows the document object model because it's all about documents. Document object model is, it's somewhat big topic. Now we can't able to cover this. Just remember, JavaScript follows the document object model. That's why document dot my form is the form of our name of our form. Here we giving the name as my form no. That's why we are accessing my form dot name is the attribute name. This field name is name. That's why we are accessing the name. Dot value is a function. We are getting the value of the name. That's why dot value. Same method. Document dot my form. In my form, I am accessing, I am going to access the password field. That's why password dot value. Then checking the validations. If the user doesn't give the name, then he clicks the enter button, means it shows some error no. It's a logic. That's why we are using the logic. If name is equal to null, or if the name and the empty, both are same meaning only. Null means it's a string characters, and then empty means also the blank spaces only. While if the name null in the alert, it should, the alert is a main keyword in JavaScript using to alert the PCs. Name can't be blank. It shows in the browser. And then else, if the password, another one more condition, if the password length, is that normally we are setting the passwords no, that in real time while we setting the password, it shows for the strong suggestions and all. Because the password is so simple, means it won't accept some browsers. Because we should sure that our password should be secure for ourselves. That's the procedure. And then here the password dot length. Password dot length means it shows the length of our password. If the password means 6, if the password length is less than 6, means it won't accept. Password must be at least 6 characters long. It should print the result. 1 minute, I will show the live demo. Let's wait. What will happen? Just create new file. Create new file like a form 1.html. Then access the code and then go to the browser and then just go to the live sessions. And then we are accessing no. Now I didn't give the name. I give the name as blank empty. I leave the name blank empty and then I give the password something. If I click the register, means it shows no. This is an alert box. The name can't be blank. This one works from this alert. This is the name can't be blank. If we give like name can't be empty, then just save it and then go to the browser. Now refresh it. Now give the password and all. Here, the name can't be empty. This is the work of alert messages. We are alerting the users to instead to enter the, by mistake, all of them are having some, by mistake they are leaving as the name as empty field, means it will intimate the user to input the name. Okay, then the password, if we checking for the password, means its length must be greater than 6. Just see the result. If I giving the name as Satish, then password I give like 1 2 3 and all. Just I give the four letters. Just give the enter. It should shows the alert message. No, password must be at least 6 characters long. This is coming from the alert messages. There is a lot of form validations in JavaScript. Let's see one by one. It's normal emptiness checking and then password validations and all. And then while seeing about the passwords, confirm password, and then while registering your new account, then it asks for the password and then confirm password. Then how it will validate in the backend? Just see the code. Here it's a simple code only, password and then re-enter password. Two passwords we are accessing, two names. One is password, another one is password 2. The two names is we are giving, and then click the submit button. While clicking the submit button, it sees for the on submit actions, on submit tag, and then it checks for the match pass, whether the match pass function is there or not. It will check. If the match pass function is there, means it will go inside the function and then access the line of codes. Here we are creating two variables. One is first password and then another one is second password. This is all about the users. I give as a password 1, password 2, or as, it's all about the user's wish only. And then it follows the document object model. That's why we are accessing the document dot f1 is the form name. Here we are giving no name is equal to f1. That's why we are accessing the form f1 dot password. Password is the name of the password. Here the password dot value, and then here the password 2. Password 2 is also the name, password 2 dot value. If the password 1 and then password 2 and both are same only, then it executes the browsers, or else the password must be same. Because while you registering no, that time the password and then confirm password, we must should check the both are same, then only the browser comes to the next page. Okay, next, the number validation. While using the number fields and on some of the browsers are forms asking for the mobile numbers and all. Forms are accessing the most of the forms are accessing the numbers fields. For user mobile numbers like that time we are using this form validations for numbers. Here simple, while giving the number field, same validate function calls, comes to the validate functions. My form is the name of the form, and then number dot value, we are getting the value of number field. And then checking is nan, is nan is a predefined function in JavaScript. All languages are having the way of accessing the data. That's why here is nan is a function which nothing but it's a number or a number or not. It's a function. So we are passing the number. Here the variable num we created no. That variable we should pass here, and then it will check whether it's a number or not. It is a number, means it won't come to the, it won't come execute the if case. It goes to the else case. If the number is not a number, means not a number. It's a definitions of NaN, not a number. That's why it's a not a number means it should execute the message as enter the numeric value. By mistake, if you enter the number field, the mobile number field as text, your name or something text, then it should show the error like this. Or else we should alert the message, same as previous examples and all. We should add the alert message and all to the persons. Finally, we are coming to the just here. It's a most important thing. It's little bit complex to understand for the beginners, because while we are entering the emails, no, there is a some logic behind the emails. Here they said rightly in that we should email must contain at and then dot character. Every email should contains one at character and then dot character. It's a valid email. Some of the protocols for the emails, we should enrich the protocols while validating the forms. Then only the email, if the persons entering the email without hut, it won't accept, no. That's why we are validating the email as at and then like this. And then there must be at least one character before and after the at. Before that and then after that, it should have the one character at least. There must be at least two characters after the dot. Because if you entering the google.com, if you having the email like this, satish at gmail.com, means it's a dot com, com. There is a three characters after the dot. That's the protocol. There must be at least two characters after the dot. Then while we coming to the coding, just wait. Here the email, we are getting the email as and then name is the name and then submit button. Here we are using the text, no. Why we are using the text? Yesterday I said the type is email for email. That is existence in HTML5 only. Before the HTML5 and all, we are now also we can use this HTML5. Here type is equal to email means it will accept only the emails. It predefinedly having this following conditions and all. It's a new technologies and all, but we are manually validating the form means we should write the codes, some steps. That's why we are manually writing the codes for validating the emails. Just a submit button, enter the submit button. While entering the submit button, it will checks for the validate email functions, and then here the validate email functions it's, and then here I am creating three characters, three variables. It's a three variables. One is X for the email. We are accessing the document, and then my form is a my form, and then email is our file name. Email is the name of our field, and then dot value. We are getting the values, and then where at position. We are checking for the at position in that email. If the user enters like Saravanan dot Saravanan at gmail.com, means at position we are getting the index of at, and then dot position we are getting the index of dot, and then we are making some if conditions, conditional statements. It's a logic behind it. If I am saying like this means you won't understand about this logic and all. If you practice means just take a piece of paper and then just work it out. At position is less than of 1. It means the index of at position something 4 or 5, something 4 is less than of 1, and then dot position means dot position is less than of at position plus 1. Dot position we will get some integers like 6 or 7 is less than of at position plus 2. Then we are checking another conditions. We must have that dot position. After dot position we should have the two characters, no. Then that is the condition here. Dot position plus 2 is length of the email. While checking about the length of the email, it should have the dot position plus 2 here. If the condition true means the email is not valid. The email is not valid. Just print the alert message like please enter a valid email. That's it. And then these and all about the form validations. And then here the main thing is we should enable that all the all the fields we should access to ensure that. Okay, just a few minutes. While talking about the JavaScript validations, there is a lot of concepts in that. Mainly, these are all the basics, very basic things. We are validating the name field and then mobile number field, email fields, like that. And then we are validating the very complex stuffs and all while using the regular expressions. Now, as of now, if I am teaching the regular expressions and all, you are getting so bored like that. Then we are moving to further details. Here I said no. Here the actions button is there. While method actions dot abj dot jsp. JSP is the Java server page. It means that it's a Java framework technology. While talking about the Java, the lot of contents is there. One day, as of 1 hour, we can't able to cover all the concepts. While clicking this action button, while clicking this submit button, no, that time it calls the action button. Here, if I am having any files like abc.jsp means it will redirect to that file and then execute some stuffs in that. Okay, let's talk about here it's all about the front end technologies. And then while we talking about that front end is basically it's a basic things. HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript is a basic thing. And then apart from that we are having lot of frameworks using. While the extensions of CSS, it's already I have said that yesterday session you got that bootstrap classes and all. Bootstrap classes is the updation versions of the CSS. While we are writing lot of codes for the CSS, no, that's why it reduces the codes is a bootstrap. While talking about the bootstrap class having lot of CSS codes inbuilt. That's why we are easy to use it. We don't want to code by manually. We just import that bootstrap class and then use to design our web pages. These are all new frameworks. And then there is a lot of frameworks in JavaScript for the front end technologies. While talking about the JavaScript, it's a big it's having a lot of concepts. The cool thing about the JavaScript is it works in that both front end and then server side, client side, and then as well as in the server side. There is a three frameworks in JavaScript. One is Node.js, Node JavaScript, and then React, and then Angular. Most of them are known about some of that. That means name. While talking about this and all, we must know that first, basically, we should know that JavaScript, what is meant by JavaScript, and then why that is important. Mainly, it is important for the interactive web page development only. Just see the frameworks of the JavaScript. See the frameworks. As of I know, said no, Angular, and then lot of JavaScript, Node.js. Node.js, here the one cool thing is Node.js is a server side application. We are creating the server side application means we should use the Node.js. The Angular and then React are the front end developments. There is a top 10 frameworks is there, but mostly we are using React and then Angular and then Node.js. While talking about that client side and then server side, we must know that client side is a user interactions field. As of now, I said no. This HTML, CSS, these and all used as a client side development. While seeing about the server side means it's totally about the backend. Backend we are having a lot of languages like Python and then Java, PHP frameworks, Laravel, C Sharp, something. Lot of languages is there, but we should use anyone. We should connect the backend, and then front end is mostly of HTML, CSS, JavaScript only. While talking about the Angular is Angular and then backend by Google. It's a open source. All of the frameworks are open source. While talking about this advantages of Angular means it helps to build the progressive web page and then high speed and then performance. While talking about this Angular, React web pages and all, it's advanced technology only. If you are seeing about this this session as a beginner means it's difficult to understand about this technologies, Angular, React and all, because Angular, React and all the most familiar frameworks, and then as now currently environments are using these frameworks to build the interactive web pages, and then Anglers, React, and all using the APIs. APIs means it's application programs which is used to connect the backend. We should not create the front end and then back end as a single project while using this Angular, React, and all. We should use the React as a front end means we should connect with the backend with another language like Node.js or Spring Boot, something like that. We are getting the JSON objects from the React, and then we are storing it to the, we are accessing by the server side means we are using the Spring Boot means we should get the inputs as a JSON objects and then storing it to the database, anything MySQL or SQLite, Postgres. Lot of databases is also there. As of now, you should know about this front end developments, which means HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript. Totally. One thing is that within these two sessions, you can't able to cover all the topics. You should practice by yourself. If anyone know, if anyone try to teach you means that's not a good thing. You should clarify. It's a best source is internet. We should access the internet and then just get the ideas about the technologies, and then try to search more and then more graph the more contents from the internet. If you are interested one thing, apart from the studies in schools and colleges like that, you should find your talent, which one you should able to get it easy, and then you are interested to work with that field. No, that field you should identify and then work for it. Anyone say, everyone say it's a old thing or it's new thing, something like that. All are saying their opinions. You should know who you are, then work for it and then just grab it down. Okay, don't ask for anyone, just go and do it by yourselves, everything by yourselves only. Don't wait for others. And then while coming to the topic, it's all about the frameworks. As of now, I'm explaining these and all. You getting so bored only. Just I will explain some backends about the backends, and then I will quit the session. Just just wait a minute. While talking about the backend, the Java is also a good backend technology only. Here, the Java is widely used language in programming language. It's a old language only, but it's still all are using this one because it has lot of features. There is a features means it's it's categorized into lot of forms. For Java standard editions for console outputs, and then Java stands for standard outputs, and then server side applications. server side applications means we are using JSP concepts and all enterprises applications. And then, which is the cool thing about the Java is we should use the microservices also. We are accessing the everything in the data. You can access the things by using the W3 schools is a good resource, and then Greeks for Greeks all are having lot of resources. Here the Java main thing, while we are using this stuffs and all, no, we try to use the official websites, which means the official website of Java is Oracle. Just go to the Oracle and then try to get something about it. Just wait a minute, it's loading. While if you want to download the Java means here the Oracle website will provides the free. It's a free source only, and then it's a big ocean. Like that, we can't study all the things within 1 month or 2 months. Within even 3 months, we can't study anything. We can't study fully. We should practice all the things by ourselves. Okay, these and all the concepts. And then most one thing is we are using all the apps now. Really today nowadays all are having the mobile phones because of the COVID. uh, all are using the mobile phones for their stuffs. For the online classes and all, they are using with the mobile phone, very familiar. And then all the apps are I have not said about all the apps. Most of the apps are running about the Java only. First, you should find what you like, then work for it. Now, coming to the end of our sessions. Now, we are coming to the end of the session. Now, we are going to quiet the sessions. If anybody having any queries, just put in the chat board. I hope that these two sessions, I have shared some knowledge. You get some little bit knowledge. I hope that try to work in that, and then everything is a practice only. Practice makes the man perfect. That's why we should practice everything. No one is brilliant and then no one is poor. No, just practice it and then get more knowledge. Knowledge is power. Let's try to work on that.
Thanks are the highest form of thought, and gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder. Thank you, Mr. Satish and Mr. Brohit, for the wonderful session. We have now reached the end of this seminar, and this is the time to extend our gratitude for the successful completion of today's event. Build Your Own Web Page Part 2. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. I deem it my privilege in proposing the vote of thanks. At the outset, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the management for providing an opportunity and extending full support to organize such an event. I would like to thank our principal sir, Dr. S. Ramachandran, for being a source of motivation and guiding us to conduct such events. I would like to thank our more eminent speakers, Mr. Satish and Mr. Prohit, for spending their time with us and enlightening the stay with their knowledge. Profound thanks to the event organizing committee for playing a pivotal role in organizing and ensuring the smooth conduction of this event. I also thank all participants for accepting our invitation and extending full support. Dear participants, the feedback form is posted in the chat box. Kindly do fill it and get your participation certificate. The participant certificates will be mailed to your registered mail IDs within few working days. Thank you. I would like to complete this day with a final quote. Live a life full of humility, gratitude, intellectual curiosity, and never stop learning. Once again, I thank you all. I once again repeat, dear participants, kindly fill your feedback forms to get your participation certificates.